Get my resin mixed up here. Got 7 ounces. I'm using Resin Rockers today, the 1-to-1. One of my favorite resins. If you look back on my channel back in early September, I think it was, I did a comparison of 7 different resins, comparing how they stood up to UV. And this was one of the winners. I had 2 winners I couldn't really decide between, Resin Rockers and Unicone. So this is the Resin Rockers that I'm using today. Just finishing getting it mixed. It's a little cold in my studio this morning, so the resin was a bit thick. I had to stick it in some water. Well, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I love teaching. I don't know if you watch my channel, you can probably tell. So I thought I would try and expand that a little bit. Almost mixed. I'm gonna let it sit for a second, and I'll just show you all what I'm doing. Turn my camera down. Okay, so what do we got here? So I'm making my ornaments. I sell these on my Etsy and my website. They're really popular, and I only have 1 left, so figured it was time to make a few more. And then I'm also working on some saddlebred ornaments. I'm gonna decorate those. I have a bunch poured already. I still need to decorate. And this is my little overflow, little overflow guy. So I'm making 3 different colors of ornaments today. So I have, these are all Glitter Makes It. One of them is gonna be like a black and silver with Cosmos and Ludicrous Speed. And I got one I'm going to do in like a light blue and silver. And then this one will be this pretty red and this silver gold mix. So doing that. So I'll be pouring in the little little arms today. And then they have to cure, and then I come back and put a back on them. So those are two-part pieces. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit so I can see comments, because I have it angled down so far I can't see what anyone's saying. So I'll try to work over here. And it looks like I saw a comment and then it disappeared. So I think YouTube only lets them sit up there for a few seconds. So if anyone was saying anything and I didn't respond, I apologize. You can go ahead and repost your comment. I will hopefully see it. All right, so I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna grab some little cups. So I mix up 5 ounces, and that does all the arms on these 3. And then to do the backs for 3 of them, I mix up 7 ounces. So altogether, 3 of them take 12 ounces, so they're like 4 ounces a piece when it's all said and done. So I'm just gonna pour out. I'm gonna just do 1 color at a time because I don't want to mix up too much and then have some left over. So I'm just going to do 1 color at a time. I normally don't do that, but since I don't know the exact amount that goes in each little arm, I don't want to end up having too much extra. Getting low on this one. Probably need to reorder this glitter. Every time I order glitter from this place, I end up ordering glitters I already have because I love them so much. I need to pay attention. I need to pay more attention when I order glitter. All right, so I'm gonna pour in the little arms. I'm about 3/4 of an ounce, so I think I'm gonna do the little arms and we'll just see how far it goes. Well, that was about perfect, so good guess. I have enough left, so I'm going to just put it in the center. All right, so I do have a tiny bit left. Guess that'll go in my overflow. This ornament is going to be very wacky. It's all these different colors in it. Okay. So I think I'm going to use a bigger cup for the blue, just because these arms are much bigger. All right, I think that's a little more than an ounce. Wish these little cups were marked. All right, so this is something blue from GMI. So the Resin Rockers resin, it's thinner than Naked Fusion, which is what I tend to use on a lot of my projects, but I do really like the Resin Rockers, and since it's thinner, it does release bubbles a little better, and it gets into the little grooves in these molds better. But glitter does tend to sink a little more easily too, so must be Amazon here. You can hear my doggies. All right, so pour the arms. Oh, these colors look so cool together. It's blue and gold. I thought that gold was going to be more silver. In the package, before I mixed it up, it definitely had more of a silver look to it. Oops. It's always funny how they change color after you mix them up. I should probably make some little tiny sample pieces and keep them with the bag. At least for the ones that look different once you mix them up. Some of them look the same, but okay, so I could have used a little bit more for these long pieces. Just trying to get it all the way to the ends. I'm going to mix up a tiny bit more because it actually, I don't have enough. It's not going to make it all the way to the end there. So how is everyone doing on this fine Sunday? It's been so cold here the last couple of days. Took my dogs out this morning and they had sweaters on because they're Chihuahuas and they're cold. But they were still shivering. They did not appreciate the weather. All right, I got these filled up all the way. All right, there we go. That looks good. my overflow again. All right, next one. This will be the red and the silver gold. So I think I'm going to do the silver gold in the shorter pieces and the red in the longer. Oops, I should probably pour my resin first. All right, so 3/4 was a little too much. So I'm gonna do a half an ounce. All right, and then the silver. So I have a live pouring class coming up with a supply list, and you guys can pour along with me. And first class is in January. And we're gonna be making some geode, some white geode coasters and a holder for them. So all of the info is on the website, resincoaching.com, if you want to check it out. But I'm going to start doing live classes next year. And you can, I provide supply list, so you can purchase the same exact supplies that I'm using. Of course, you can use your own if you have things that you prefer, or if you want different colors, things like that. But it's on the first Thursday of every month. We're gonna be doing something different every single month. So February, I have some pocket hearts on the calendar. For Valentine's Day, those are fun little giveaways. March, doing a word sign with a Petri design. And April, doing some 3D flower coasters. So it's kind of like attending a paint and sip class, but from the comfort of your own home. And if you're going to have a beverage, make sure you don't accidentally drink your resin. That would not be good. All right, and now for the red, a little bigger cup. All right, so I didn't have quite enough when I did the blue, so I'll try just eyeballing it, so hopefully that's right. All right, so this resin is it's on the thinner side, which is awesome. It gets into the nooks and crannies of these molds pretty good. I'm using not Naked Fusion today. I'm using Resin Rockers today. This was one of the winners of my UV test. I don't know if you saw the test that I did back in September. I think it was September. Compared 7 different resins, left them outside for a month. And Resin Rockers and Unicone were tied for the least amount of yellowing. They actually didn't yellow at all. I couldn't pick a winner. They were both equally as amazing. So using the Resin Rockers today. This color combo is really pretty. Can't go wrong with red and gold, right? Alright, and then I did see a couple little drips I want to clean up on this guy and the red one. If you don't clean them up, then they end up covering up the background when I put the backing on tomorrow. My glitter likes to stick to silicone for sure. There we go. Okay. All right, so then the last one, is this one on camera? Nope. All right, let me move this around. Trying to keep my camera angle so I can see any comments coming in. All right, so this is the silver and black one. So I think the short arms I'm going to do in the silver. So that was a ½ an ounce, was the perfect amount for the short arms plus the center. This glitter is amazing. Ludicrous speed. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but oh my gosh. It's gorgeous. It's like silver, but with so many other colors of the rainbow. I think I want to take a bath in this glitter. That's so pretty. I just got a tattoo the other day, and I was very sad that they don't make glitter tattoo ink. Somebody needs to get on that. All right, and then the black. I'm trying to do a smidge more than what I did for the red. One of the things I love about this glitter is it seems to stay suspended pretty good. It does sink and some of it floats, but it gives a really solid look. Of course, you have to use enough too. I try to mix it so it's a little on the chunky side. see if I can. So you see it's not just pouring off my stick. That seems to be the perfect consistency for this glitter. So any thoughts on color combinations for the next set? I'm gonna make another set over on Instagram. And I don't know what colors I want to do. Any thoughts, recommendations? Alright, so I'm gonna just lightly sprinkle the tiniest amount of glitter into these two molds. I mean, it is just barely speckled in there. Because I'm using mica powder and then I'm using pigment paste in the other one. So I do want to add just a little sparkle, but I don't want it to be too obnoxious. So this one I'm going to use the Ludicrous Speed. And all I'm doing is dipping my finger in and then just kind of just rubbing it off over the mold. Doggies are on alert today. This little guy. This mold is one of the hardest molds I've ever used in terms of air bubbles down in these little arms. Gotta really watch this mold. Alright, so these two guys are not even a half an ounce of resin. I'm gonna mix up a half ounce anyways though, just because it's easier to mix when you have enough resin in the cup. Alright, so we're gonna do the red. So this is the Yamagata red from Eye Candy. This is my favorite red mica powder. It is the most beautiful, Christmassy, deep, rich red. It doesn't have any orange in it. It's not pink. It is red, red, red. I do have a discount code for both Glitter Makes It and Eye Candy if you want to go check out their websites. But they're different codes. The Glitter Makes It code is Tifton Art, and the Eye Candy code is Tifton Studio. So they are slightly different. Glitter Makes It, you get 30% off with my code, and I think you get, oh, don't quote me, I want to say 10% with the Eye Candy. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit for a minute because I've noticed with thinner resins like this one that mica powders don't mix in quite as easily. So it helps if you let it sit so that any unmixed mica will kind of float up to the top, and then you can remix it. And this is just resin pigment paste in fuchsia. It's a pink, but it has like a purple undertone, like a purple iridescent undertone that is just gorgeous. You always want to stir your pigment pastes too. These are made with, usually with powders, so the powder sinks. Just gotta recombine everything. All right, so it's gonna take a little bit. I noticed with this color, this paste, that particular one, if you don't use enough, it is transparent. And I mean, they're all that way. They'll all be semi-transparent or translucent if you don't use enough. But this pink one, for some reason, I feel like I have to use more than I would of the other ones. So it's just a little, you kind of learn as you use each one. You assume they're all the same from the same brand, and then you get one that's different. All right, I'm gonna let this one sit too. I want, just give it time for the air bubbles to rise too, because I was mixing pretty fast there. So while those are kind of resting, I'm gonna take my little dotting tool and I'm just gonna poke into the corners of these molds, because air bubbles just love to lurk right under the surface in these corners. Oh, yeah, there was a big one. These molds are super flexible and they tend to, they don't want to stay straight, so you gotta watch that too. They'll get a little crooked. And then you end up with a crooked ornament, which is not the end of the world, but okay, so we got the molds. I just speckled a little tiny bit of glitter in each of these just to give it some sparkle. I don't know if that's picking it up. Oh, there we go. So now I'll pour the color on. So the red, yeah, just like I said earlier, can I tilt this enough? I don't know if you can see, there's little flecks of the mica powder that floated up to the top. So that's why I let it sit for a minute. It's because I want to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Alright, so I'm going to pour the pink while that red is sitting there for another minute. Am I still on camera? I don't usually film at this camera angle, but I have my camera this way so I can see any comments that come in. So this mold has such tiny legs on this horse that the resin, it has a hard time making its way down the leg all the way to the foot. So I have to kind of coax it there with my dotting tool. Once it starts flowing to the foot though, it goes pretty good. It's like I have to kind of show it that it can get down there. And then there's always little air bubbles in the feet and the ears. So I will be rebranding my channel in the next week or so. It's going to change the name to The Pour House because I just launched a new website where I'm going to start doing pouring classes. So Tifton Studio is still going to be my store where I'm going to sell my stuff. But I'm switching all of my like tutorials and classes over to the Pour House. So you'll see the logo change in the next week or so, but no big deal. It's still me. Okay. Oh, I should have dumped that extra in my overflow. I have my little overflow ornament here. This is going to look so weird when I demold it. I've got 3 different colors of glitter in there, and now this resin paste. So we'll see. Okay, move him. And now the red one. So this one has the glitter speckled in it too. We'll see what that looks like. I haven't done that before. I'm hoping it gives just a tiny bit of sparkles. Mica powder is nice and it's got a pretty sheen, but it doesn't have sparkles. Alright, so same thing with this guy, just kind of coax the resin down the legs. I poured these ornaments earlier in the live, so if you're just tuning in and you want to see the process, this will be up on my channel. You'll be able to watch the recording of this. So you can go back and check it out. I am going to do 3 more over on my Instagram as soon as I finish this. I don't know what colors I want to do yet though. Any ideas? Any thoughts? So with these little molds, I always try to be as neat as possible and not have any little straggly bits overflowing because I don't want to have to sand these. They're so tiny and there's just so many little pieces. The little tiny mane, little tiny ears. I think sanding would just be a major hassle. So I try to fill them up just like perfectly. I don't dome these guys. Okay. last bubble check in these feet. And the tail. Anywhere there's like a sharp point in the mold. Forgot to do this foot. Alright, so I'm going to swap this tray out, get my next tray ready, and then I'm going to switch over to Instagram. I'm going to do 3 more ornaments live over on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, go check it out. It's under Tifton Studio. Alright, so I will see you over there.